The laws of exponents can be used even when the exponents are fractional. So I'm going to write one law of exponents that you're probably familiar with. A to the n power times a to the m power equals a to the n plus m. Okay, it says that if you have the same base, which in this case is a, then you can add the exponents when you multiply the two powers. Okay, let's use this with a fractional exponent expression. So we'll try this one. Okay, so 3 to the 1/5 power times 3 to the 1/2 power. Okay, and we want to simplify this. In other words, we want it to write it with just one base, not two bases like we have here. Okay, so we can use this law of exponents. We can add the two exponents here. So that's 3 to the 1/5 plus 1/2 power. Okay, so now we need to look at 1/5 plus 1/2. We have to simplify that. So let's take a look at that over here. So we want to add the fractions 1/5 and 1/2. Okay, now the common denominator is 10. So I'm going to rewrite each fraction with the denominator of 10. I'll put 10 here and then 10 right here. Okay. Now, in order to get 10, you'd multiply 5 by 2. So then you'd also multiply the 1 by 2, which is 2. Okay. And then in order to get a 10 from a 2, you multiply by 5. So I'm also going to multiply the numerator by 5. And 5 times 1 is 5. Okay. And when I add those two fractions, we get 7/10. Okay. So going back to this problem, the answer is 3 to the 7/10 power. So that's one law of exponents. Let's go over another one. There's another law of exponents. Sometimes it's called power to a power. So I'll write this out. So a to the n power to the m power. So this is when you have a power to a power. This is when you multiply. So that would be a to the n times n power. Okay, they're written next to each other. That means multiplication. Okay, so let's do an example of this. Okay, so let's say we want to simplify 7 to the 1/2 power to the 2/3 power. Okay, what we'll do is first we'll apply this law of exponents, a power to a power. It says that I'm going to multiply these two exponents, 1/2 and 2/3. So it's going to be 7 to the power of 1/2 times 2/3. Okay? And when you multiply fractions, it's easy to do. 1 times 2 is 2, so I'm going to put that in the numerator. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that's 7 to the 2/6 power, but that simplifies because 2/6 simplifies to 1/3. So the answer here is 7 to the 1/3 power. Okay, there's one more law of exponents, and that's when you subtract the exponents. So let's write this out. A to the n power divided by a to the m power. Okay, this is a to the n minus n. So this is another law of exponents that you worked with before, only now we're using fractions. Let's simplify this expression right here. So 4 to the 2/5 over 4 to the 1/5 power. Okay, well, we have the same base. Each base is 4. We're going to subtract the exponents. So I'm just going to write the 4 once now, and then it's going to be 4 to the 2/5 take away 1/5. This is simple because we have the common denominator of 5, so 2 minus 1 is 1, and then we have over 5, so the answer is just 4 to the 1/5 power. We're done.